I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kara.
And we are the Inner Idiot.
The following podcast has strong language, violence, and other things you probably shouldn't let your children listen to. Please enjoy. Hey, Ty, if you wanted to make a podcast, how would you do it?
Spotify Podcasters app, of course. Or hell, even the website.
Do they have any way you can edit audio and help with organizing your episodes?
All that and more. You can reach out to listeners and have feedback with their Q&A feature, and it distributes it to all other major places you listen to podcasts.
I just looked, and they got a video podcast set up and editing tools here, too.
So all you got to do is sign up at SpotifyForPodcasters.com or get the app, and you're done.
Damn, it's just that easy.
Drop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, because it ain't wet from sweating. We ain't done yet. Welcome to Inner Idiot Podcast, where we're here to get you through your day and to touch your insides. And when I say touch your insides, I mean your heart, because we just want to make you laugh and shit, you know. I am your host, the big, the bald, the beautiful, the brash, the bumbling, and the oftentimes bastardly MC Tyler Havlin, and I talk slow, and I walk slower, because that's just how I roll, folks.
2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Woo! Oh, she did give us a little woo.
Well,
she did.
And I'll tell you what, that timing was on like that time. You were on it. We don't normally have that. Like
in my car too.
Do what?
I even practice in my car.
Yes. Yes. All right. We will get to you in 1 second, because next I got to introduce my lovely co-host, the Lord that's never bored, the commander of the comic books, with nipples so hard he'll make you go full retard. He'll lick you from the rooter to the tutor, because he's a straight shooter. 2 claps for Ric Flair for Lord Shorty Fresh in the flesh.
Whoa.
Look, man, I'm just going to make you a sexual deviant more and more for every
I'm not here for it.
intro.
I am a good little boy.
You're a good Christian boy. Next up, she is a teacher and a comedian. And when you put those two things together, it makes magic. 2 claps and a Ric Flair for Alysse Louvier. Woo! Did I get it right?
Yes.
Look at that.
Man,
He's popping.
I've only said it once the correct way before that, just so you listeners know. That
And he
was,
absolutely butchered it the first attempt. So
yeah, because it was a lot less syllables when I said it. All right, well, thank you for coming on. I've been looking forward all week to having you, but I understand that you too have had some encounters with terrorism.
yes, unfortunately I gave birth to a tiny terrorist. And yeah, no, she is literally, I said I was bullied in high school, and now in my adulthood I also get to get bullied, but I don't get to run away from her. She just follows me everywhere. So it's awesome.
Do you so like my terrorist, like, dude, dinner time has always been a struggle. Right? So I understand you've had some problems with dinner time.
Well, I mean, how old is yours?
Well, I have a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old, but I'm pretty sure that the demon that possesses the 5-year-old is at least centuries old. And I'm pretty sure she's in a gang, because I once seen her kill a man with a half-eaten Pop-Tart, 3 Pokemon cards, and a naked Barbie doll. Like, just to watch the guy bleed.
Yeah, no, like literally my child would just walk up to a table and flip it, because you know what, the table's there and it just should be flipped. But yeah, so you understand, like my kid goes through bouts where she wants to eat and she doesn't want to eat. And we did supper one night, and she just really wanted chocolate milk. And we told her, like, you can have your chocolate milk if you eat your supper. And she was like, no. And we're like, okay, then you can't have it. And so me and her dad ate. I'm laying on the couch. He's laying on the sofa. And she kept asking, and we kept telling her, like, eat your supper. Well, a few minutes later, she like literally, because she hates me, hit me in the face with the plate, and she's like, I want my chocolate milk. And I'm like, what's this? And I look at her dad. I'm like, hey, you ate this? He's like, no. I'm like, you ate your food? She's like, yeah, chocolate milk. So we're like, all right, dude, whatever. And then I'm like, hold up, I don't trust her because I'm sketchy. Like, so I know my kid's sketchy because like it's scary because I see her think and I'm like, oh my God. I hated myself for a long time. So like I thought a lot of things, but I didn't do them. She loves herself, so she does it, and it's terrifying. So I'm like, hold up. So like in our furniture, I moved the sofas. I like have drawers on my coffee table. I checked all there. And I'm like, okay, she must have ate it. Like I can't find it. So he goes, he fixes her the chocolate milk. She and I lay on the couch. We're snuggling. She falls asleep. We put her in her crib. We go to sleep. And the next morning we wake up and he brings her to the potty because we're potty training, which is a whole separate miserable endeavor in itself. And when he opened her onesie, all of the pizza and the breadsticks from the night before tumbled out of the onesie.
Awesome.
And she just looked up and her dad's like, hey, what's that? And she's just like, no. Looked up, would not acknowledge it. He couldn't find me. He's like, I found the food. I'm like, what? The food from last night. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, we couldn't find the food. He's like, I found it. It was in her onesie. I'm like, shut up. I go look. She had a huge imprint of marinara on her onesie. Her bed is full of pizza. But if you ask her about it, she will not acknowledge it until like 2 weeks ago. Something happened and I put on that onesie that she had on that night. And she looked at my mom and she said, there's no pizza in here. So I'm like, she knew. She knows. And it's, oh my God.
That's amazing. I've never thought to hide food in my clothes. Like,
yeah, so we just don't eat with clothes on now.
Dude, that sounds like a fun time at dinner.
right?
Let's do it.
Now, I will say I've done some sketchy shit for chocolate milk, though. I mean, she's on the right track.
Look, dude, she's hit me with a right hook. A couple of days ago, I fussed her for something. She came up from behind me and like hit me at the bridge. I thought she broke my nose. I just saw black. Like I had a big old bump. Like I don't need CPS. I need APS. Adult.
Yep. Parent Protective Services.
Yes.
I've been an advocate of this for years.
And look, like I come from sketch. So like if I could have a Netflix series on like the crackhead side of my family, like, oh dude. There's a show called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Oh my God, I've seen it. It is majestic. It's more majestic.
No, like I literally called my mom and I was like, Mom, Mama is this one and you're this one. And she's like, that's not funny. I'm like, no, it is hilarious. So like I just recently had a family member finesse somebody out of thousands of dollars and like, so like my whole life, I'm like, I don't ever want to be that way. Like, I don't want to be a crackhead. I don't want to. So like when I got pregnant, I was like, I prayed really hard because I suffer from mental illness. And I'm like, I don't ever want my kid to wake up and hate herself the way I did.
Right.
Like I literally every night I was like, God, please do not let my kid suffer from mental illness. Please, God, do not let my kid turn out to be a crackhead. Please, God, do not. And I'm gonna be filtered so we don't get in trouble. Please, God, do not let.
No. Listen, we won't, like, if I don't get canceled, you're not gonna get canceled. I promise.
But like, please, God, don't let my kid be a whore. Like, and that's the biggest thing because like that's like my whole, So it's like, but I didn't prepare. I didn't ask for her not to be an asshole. And like, he's like, you know what? I ain't gonna give her that mental illness. She's gonna love herself, but like you gonna suffer. And I found something.
You left one out, Alysse.
Yeah.
I pray not to be an asshole.
Dude, you don't understand.
You saw, oh my God.
It's like Experts raise a daughter people are a little scared of. Teach her to be strong, fierce, and not give a crap what people think. Me. All right, but I'm wondering, do I get extra brownie points if I'm also scared of her and she doesn't give a crap what I think?
Oh, that's fucking great.
Look, my husband fussed for her dad. He's like, you can't do that, whatever. She's looking at him like this. And he goes, what you looking at? She went, you a stupid man.
Damn. Golly.
No, this is the scary one here. By the way, she's like 2. So and she talks like she's a genius. Like she freaks the doctors out. She's incredibly intelligent. It's absolutely terrifying. But so we don't believe in, whipping kids and stuff like that. But like my kid's an asshole. She deliberately does things to be.
But she whips you.
Yeah, she beats me. Okay. So like I have.
It ain't no whooping. It's a beating.
Oh yeah.
There's a difference.
I've never been scared before, and like I literally sit on edge sometimes when I hear her. I'm like watching because I don't know if she's gonna come on me or hit me or. But so she did something, and her dad smacked her hand because she wasn't listening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're a little dramatic. So she obviously threw a fit, and she comes find me, and I'm like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And she's telling me that he hit her, and I'm like, "Well, Daddy asked you multiple times, this, that," and she goes, "Well, I'm gonna kill him and throw him in the trash." And I'm like, I didn't want to laugh, but it's like, what?
You can't say those things.
That's a demon. I think so too. I think my kid has one too, and it scares me.
I'm telling you, man, that it's crazy. These little girls, people always talk about little boys this, little boys that. No, little boys or little girls are the real true gangsters. At least today, like in today's children, these little girls are on one. I'm telling you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
A girl on TikTok. She calls the Gen Alphas the honey badgers, and like every day, I'm like, yeah, these Gen Alphas are absolutely honey badgers. Like today,
honey badgers don't give no shit.
None. Zero. Like today, I'm trying to feed my little girl some grits, before I'm trying to get her to the babysitter. And she's like, no. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, I'm just relaxing. Like, you are 2 and it is 7:00 in the morning, ma'am. Calm down.
You don't get to relax. Calm down.
Thank you.
You just woke up.
Right, your whole life should be relaxing at this point. Shit.
Like you about to go to your honey's house where literally you are weighted on hand and foot. Like, let's be real.
Now, see, the one thing is like, does your daughter act like that with like around, like in public and around everybody else, or is she like a sweet little angel that flips it on like a light switch?
So she's so incredibly smart and intelligent that like people don't. She does it in public. Like she is a bitch in public.
That's what I wanted to hear.
We'll be at birthday parties and like, I don't know. I call myself a helicopter mom, but like it's because I know what my kid's capable of. So like
Right.
I'll be at a birthday party and I'm like constantly scanning the room and I'll be telling people like I'm listening, but I'm watching. And they're like, she's good. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like as much as she could turn around and blow you a kiss, she could walk up to that cake table and throw the cake across the room.
Right. This is for your child's protection, not
she's
mine.
good. Your child's not safe.
I'm trying to help you. Like I hate, dude, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, I always share the post. It's like, say us extra prayers for the parents of overstimulated toddlers at non-baby proof's house with kids that are running off of 2 crackers and apple juice. And it's like, yes, that I hate this time of the year.
See, I only ask because Tyler's daughter is like quiet. She's timid. She hides behind like me and Ty have been hanging out for probably we have been hanging out for the majority of her life. And in the last like 3 months, she started talking to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
no,
like-
my kid, no. So I'm like antisocial. Don't talk to me. Like I don't make eye contact
Right.
with people. I'm very shy. No, she is the one that will walk up, hey, hi. And like, if you don't tell her hi back, she will start yelling it at you. Like dogs have, everyone has to acknowledge her, but it's like, she's so incredibly, I know, like you say you're biased for your kids and stuff, but like, she is so incredibly beautiful that people just think it's adorable. And I'm like, no, like y'all are feeding her ego. I need you to stop. Because she knows.
I have a bad tendency to put down kids. Like, I'll sit there and shit on them and like make fun of them and stuff. My nephews, like, they live with me half the week, and I just shit on them nonstop. And I have to stop myself, and I'm like, wait a second, hold on, pause. I'm like, you guys know I love you, right? Like, yeah, we know. Like, all right, cool beans.
So my little sister, who's adopted, so she's 11. I'm 30.
Oh, that's a big age difference.
Well, yeah, she's one of my mom's sisters. One of my mom's sister has 6 kids, and like she's actually a twin too. So it's a very complicated situation. Like I said, Loud and Wonderful Whites. You feeling me yet?
So, all right. So your mom's sister has twins along with the rest of her orphanage, but your mom has one of the twins, which is now your sister. So your twin sister's twin is actually her cousin now?
Yeah, and so my cousin, they're cousin sisters, twins.
That's fucking wild.
And the wild and wonderful.
The fact that you were able to connect those dots blows my fucking mind.
Bro, when it's fuckery, like, I can connect them.
She said that shit, and I'm like, yep, I believe you. I don't care where the line is. And Tyler's like, no, I see it. I got it. Family lineage is my shit, dude. I work for Ancestry.com.
Oh,
and
shit.
like their school, they just got to middle school, and like the middle school didn't know they were sisters recently. I don't know. But
no, she was adopted. Does she have a different last name than her sister?
So, okay, this is crazy. I'm about to blow your mind.
All right, hit me with it.
Okay, so my maiden name is Jeremy, right?
Right.
Like my parents are Jeremys. Well, I'm related to my mom's niece, who's my mom's sister's daughter, right?
Okay.
If I'm related to her through that, she is my first cousin. You following me?
Yeah.
Okay, but her husband is a Jeremy. So I'm related to her on my mom's side, and I'm related to her husband on my dad's side. So they are also Jeremys, but like we're not related through blood through the Jeremys. If that makes sense.
Look.
So hold on, pause. So a cousin from your mom's side and a cousin from your dad's side who aren't related by blood share the same last name and hooked up?
Hey, bro, nobody's better than your first cousin. All right?
But they're not cousins. Like they weren't related.
They are now.
I guess long story short is the twins right now have the same last name, right? But if they both get adopted by the 2 families that have them, they will also still have the same last name.
That's fucking...
And it's just, I think that's crazy.
I'm getting sick and tired of people telling me my family's fucked up. Like...
Yeah. Oh, look, dude.
All right, I am formally gonna back Alyssa's family being on Netflix. Okay, we need to make this happen.
I have 6 brain cells and all of them just pulled overtime.
Yeah. All right.
This is the kind of stuff you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night, like, shit, what? Trying to connect the dots.
What kind of teacher are you? Like, is it like?
So I taught high school math for 6 or 7 years.
No wonder you're good at adding all this shit up.
Yeah.
Her family tree looked like a bowl of spaghetti, though.
Word.
Look, but like, so I taught high school, so that is a whole new level of just. We'll just.
High schoolers are gross.
So have you always been an online teacher, or were you ever an in the classroom teacher?
Nope, I taught in the public classroom for 6 years.
Now, forgive me for overstepping here. You were a very attractive woman. How did that go? Did it ever get uncomfortable with your male students? So
I truly wholeheartedly think that I had the kids convinced that I'm crazy enough that I would like fuck them up if I had to. Yes. They really didn't mess with me. However, I did have one kid hit on me, but it was like so good that I couldn't even like fuss him because like I absolutely walked into it, and I was on duty one day, and they have this family and they have like 25 kids, and like they're all some little turds, but we love them. They're like the turds that you just grow to love. And
I flush mine.
No, these we keep. They're floaters, man. We can't get rid of them.
No matter how many times you flush, they just pop back up.
Yeah, they just keep coming.
I mean, you live in Louisiana, it's all a fucking toilet anyway.
Anyone who's like from where I'm from hears this, they're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So he comes up to me and he's like, "Those boys over there are scaring me. They're acting ridiculous by the vending machine." Mm-hmm. I'm like, "Well, you go tell your friends that if they don't start acting right, that I'm going to come over there and it's not going to be nice." So he turns around and he comes back and he goes, "So wait, you want me to go tell those boys that the hot math teacher will come over there if they keep acting up?" And I'm like, "Go over there, shut up." And I just walked away. And I was like, I couldn't even correct that one because I was like, okay.
I'd have brought you flowers and all kinds of shit if you were my high school teacher. I'd have done all kinds of stupid shit.
I think I did have a female student in love with me. She would bring me flowers and candy and write me notes. But like, I don't know. I feel like I just loved my kids. Like we just vibed and I listened to them and I just tried to, like we were chill, but like
that's a good teacher. That's a good teacher. And you know, like I mean, I remember being that age and like as a dude anyway, any woman showing you kind of like any like, oh, like it's okay or whatever, like any form of kindness, you're like, I love you. Like,
well, like
please.
I had this one boy and he was very shy and just very timid and like I poked and prodded him. And then it was like one day he just walked into my class and he had given up and he was upset. And I was like, "Dude, what's wrong?" And he's like, "I'm done." And I'm like, "No, like you were doing great in class. Like what's going on?" And I talked to him. I'm like, "This is not who you are. Like you got this, dude. Like I watched you." And then he ended up nominating me for Teacher of the Month. And he's like, "For the rest of my life, I'll know that I got this because this teacher said it. And it wasn't just because she had to,
Yeah.
And it's like, that's when I started realizing how much of an impact that you can make. And that was the biggest thing walking out of the public school system was losing my kids because there's these certain kids that their home lives just really suck and they don't have that love.
Yeah.
But then the public school system, you can't even check on them because that's weird or, so it's a fine line, but like to me, it's the kids that just made job vaping, fighting, and they'd be like, "Miss Louvier, you don't understand. I need my Nick." And I'm like, "No, dude, you don't understand. I promise you. Like, you don't understand. I promise you. You can go all day without nicotine. Like, I'm telling you, you can."
Oh, that's what she meant. I was like, what the fuck's a Nick?
You didn't catch it?
I heard Nick, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever you say, lady. And like, you're the teacher, you know better.
Yeah. And you were probably less afraid of them than you were of your own child, right?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I had a kid in my class who was on house arrest for 4 counts of attempted murder.
Jesus Christ.
Was it last year or a year before
Did you work on the inner Bayou?
Yeah.
Because you guys don't have cities.
So this is the same kid that, like, the year before I also had him. And he's walking, and I'm driving, bringing my little girl to the babysitter, and he's on the side of the road smoking a joint, listening to music. Like, then he shows up in my homeroom class with an armful of snacks, and I'm like, "You hungry?" He's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you are." Like,
motherfucker.
That's the cool thing. He didn't even turn him in. That's even better. It didn't happen on school. Let the kid be. But we're gonna take a little pause for the cause, and we'll come right back. We gotta pay the bills here. So if you're watching on the Facebook Live, join us. This will release next Thursday. And look, she has been a wonderful guest so far. So you're going to want to come back for this top 5. All right? So we'll be right back. Shorty, you know what to do. Hit the button. Do you love podcasts? Of course you do. That's why you're here. But you know what's even better than listening to a podcast? Making your own. That's right, and Anchor makes it simple. I'm your favorite host, MC Tyler Havlin, and I'm telling you, go download the Anchor app today, Anchor FM. They have all the tools you need to get started today. And best part is, it's totally free. They push it out to all the major platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. So get started today, people. Go download the app, Anchor FM. I'll wait. Do it now. And we're back, and things got run a little over on the first segment. It's okay. That first segment was gold, Alyssa. You are amazing. You're a natural at this. But now we're going to jump into the top 5. Today's top 5 is if you wrote a book about your life and it had 5 chapters, what are the titles of those chapters? And you can give us a why, Shorty. We're going to mix up the rotation today, and you're going to start us out.
All right. So thinking back on it, just like you, Alyssa, I have overcome a lot of depression and sadness and stuff like that. And how did you phrase it, this time in your life? What did you call it? Your spiritual awakening, or
My spiritual journey. Yeah.
your spiritual journey? Yeah. So like, it's like, that has been my entire life, has been evolving, but, I'm the youngest of 4 kids. So the first chapter of my life is saved the best for last.
I can get down with that. I've met him. You're the best.
Yeah.
I mean, Rosemary, I love you, but Shorty's the best.
Yeah. My siblings are pretty cool, but there's a reason why they waited for me. Chapter 2 is realized mortality. And that is probably the descent of when I realized my life was going to end and everyone else's was too. And I realized I had depression and things started taking the thing. Or life started taking a tank downward.
Look, that one's dark, all right? I'm telling you now, when you get to the chapter where I'm introduced, it better be the greatest fucking chapter ever.
Oh, you'll hear it. Chapter 3 is suns rise and happiness falls. And this was probably the darkest moment of my life. I did the math too, and I divided it equally.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. But this would be the darkest chapter. And then my redemption arc starts in chapter 4 with disfigured clown.
Am I the disfigured clown?
You're part of the clown.
Okay.
You're part of the clown.
What part of the clown am I, though?
Huh? You're the nose that honks.
I can take a honk. I'm good.
Yeah, you good with that?
I'm good with that.
You honk a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to make you the fucking you cut fucking hair.
You didn't want to make me the horseshoe hair, huh?
No, I didn't want you to do that. I didn't want to do that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, just the fucking big old red nose.
I appreciate that.
And the current chapter, the final chapter so far, is eluding sadness's fall.
There's a lot of sadness, a lot of falling.
Well, it's, eluding it, getting out of it, trying to stay away from it.
Okay.
Trying to keep my mental health out of that.
Yeah, we got to remove those trip hazards from your life.
Word.
All right.
Appreciate you, Ty.
I'm like your health insurance, brother.
I don't trust you nearly as much as I do that.
Bro, I take a look at your
I pay for that
day.
through work. I choose to go to the doctor. You show up at my house.
And you get it from me for free, baby.
Not great. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You're loved. See, look, they knew you needed to call. All right, Alyssa, you are up.
Okay, so obviously I've overthought it all. So like the first thing I did was I divided it into like the different chapters of my life. Like I took 30 years, divided it by 5. And then like I really started thinking about how my life got condensed. So I kind of like looking in it, I would look like chapter 1 would kind of be like a reflection of who I was, the dead side of me. And I would call that one like Drowning in Shadows, the Battle Within. And kind of like when that part.
And
Then
let me just tell you guys, your guys' chapters are way better named than my chapters. Like, I feel like I got to redo this shit now. I mean, I'm not. I'm
Tyler's chapter 1 is going to be I stubbed my toe on Tuesday.
It was Wednesday, but that's okay. Stepped on a Lego on Tuesday. 2 separate things.
got snuck by a toddler on Friday.
Snuck the shit out of me.
Then like the next one, chapter 2 would just be like about how I met, just different love in my life. And so like it would be love and loss, just all the different loves that helped me grow.
It's funny because mine was loving yourself through love and despair was one of my options, and I scratched it out.
Bro, that's
awesome.
some deep shit y'all got here, man. Like, I'm still over here in the fucking shallow end of the kiddie pool. And y'all are like, nope, let's dive right in. Come on. I forgot.
Well, you said life, like you like life chapters. When you live a crappy life, you get some deep chapters, man.
See, this girl gets it. God damn it!
Look, I left my swimming trunks at home, y'all. I'm just rolling up.
This
up
right
my
here,
pants
this
and
kind of conversation's why I've missed miles.
So, then chapter 3 would talk about like how I awoken, and it would be rebuilding from ruin, a phoenix's tale.
Aw, I love that.
And then the next one would be like when I decided, like after I had my little girl, it would be from darkness to light, a spiritual resurgence. And then everything moving forward, awakening to life, finding purpose and meaning, which is like my chapter now.
Right. I love it. I'd read the fuck out of that book.
I mean, I would read it. Like, I feel like it's a self-help book almost. It's like, hey, here we are. Look, my titles.
He's going to feel so shitty about his top 5 now. We should have let him go first.
Hey, all right, well,
I'm so happy about this.
here we go. Chapter 1 is titled, That's When She Knew She Fucked Up. All right? And this title is going to be about my big-ass head coming out of my mom. Like, she knew when she was giving birth. Look, you see the size of this thing? It wasn't much smaller when I was a baby, all right? I probably tore that poor woman up. All right.
Jesus Christ.
So that was right there. She's like, fuck, what am I doing? And let me tell you, my mom was a savage. All right. She was not ready for motherhood or being a parent. I mean, fuck, how I got my name. So everybody knows me as Tyler. A few close friends know my actual name is Spencer. All right. But I don't go by Spencer. And here's why.
Spencer.
My mom was pregnant with me. My dad pissed her off. I think he might be my dad. I don't know. It's still up in the air.
It's a complicated story.
Yeah. So she's pissed at him and she says, fuck you. I'm going to name him after my first husband. So I got the name Spencer. So it's like, that was a sign. Like, you know what? Maybe you should have swallowed this kid. Okay.
Oh my God.
But she knew she fucked
You have a
up.
cutie.
Yeah, so growing up, my family, they refused to call me Spencer. It was a slight to everybody involved. So everybody called me Tyler. I didn't even know my name was Spencer until the 6th grade. I'm in class, and they're like, Spencer Havlin. And I'm like, hey, maybe I'm related to this kid. He's got the same last name as me. I mean, it's like being a Jeremy, apparently. And did I say that one right, Jeremy?
You did.
All right. I'm on a fucking roll. So I'm like, and they go through and I never hear my name called. So I go up to the teacher like, hey, you didn't call my name. So I had to go to the office. They called my mom. I get home and they're like, my grandma's sitting there and she was a motherfucking gangster too. This woman had a car blown up mob style for a guy she was dating who was much younger than her.
Getting
Anyways,
sidetracked.
Derailed. That's how we roll. So my grandma looks at my mom and she said, you gonna tell him? So that's when I learned 6th grade that my first name was actually Spencer and not Tyler.
Did she tell you why your name was Spencer?
Oh yeah, my grandma spilt all the beans, man. She's like, no, you're gonna tell this poor boy.
How old are you in 6th grade? Fucking
It's 10, 11.
10?
11, 12.
11 or 12?
12.
Yeah,
Oh,
11,
man.
12. All right.
Man.
So that's the first chapter of my life. And let me tell you, man, my mom, she never got to the point we never caught up on the son mother level. Like we were always on different levels, right? Mm-hmm. Like she was always way behind where I needed her to be, where society needed her to be, and a lot of kids paid the price for that because I was a fuck. All right. Next chapter title is you cannot renew your free trial. And this happened about 16 is when the wheels fell off. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to move out. Fuck this shit. I know better than everybody. My mom, like, my mom was more like my sister. Like, it wasn't like a mother-son thing. And so I moved out and I thought I could do life better. All right. That's when I realized, like, well, shit, all this money I make now, I got to pay bills. So the free trial ended for me at 16. Next chapter is happened when I was about 22, 23. And this one we're going to call That's When the Hair Left the Building.
I should have known this was going to be a chapter.
It was very important to me. I used to have nice hair, okay? It was long. It was silky smooth. Like I could put that shit in a ponytail.
I can see the doubt in her eyes.
Look, it was there. The hair was there. I promise.
Look, Brian, my husband, he is bald and he lost his hair at like 18, so you good.
See? Look, bald is beautiful, baby. That's what I've been telling you for 3 years now, 4 years, however long. Okay? So, like, and the hair was just the beginning of it. Like, my eyesight started going. I needed glasses, and, like, I was just fighting it. I was fighting growing up, and it wasn't cool. All my hair started sliding off my head and down on my back and on my chest. And let me tell you what, when you start getting gray hairs on your chest, man, that's depressing ass shit. That's almost as bad as when I started going bald. Dude, I'm telling you.
I can't wait to hear, like, if we're still doing this podcast in 20 years, which I hope we're not, I really want to hear that, like, you bitch and moan about your fucking gray ass chest hairs.
Bro, they're all over. I don't even got. We ain't gotta wait 20 years. They're here.
I'm over it. Let's quit the podcast. Alysse, thanks for being a part of the last episode.
This is not it. All right, next.
We got 2 more chapters.
Chapter 4 would be titled "Have Kids." They say it'll be fun. They say. So I actually had kids a little bit older than what people normally have kids, I guess. I was 27 when my first one was born. And that's because I was kind of selfish. Like, I knew I didn't want kids. So there was one thing I was always very responsible about as a teenager and a young adult. And that was every time I had sex, I wrapped up. Mm-hmm. Very first time I did not, boom, kid was conceived. I'm telling you. But I was ready at that point. I was like, you know what? Let's have a kid. And then chapter 1 come back and bit me in the ass. I was like, well, now I knew when I fucked up. Like, I wasn't actually ready. But you know what? I made the best of it. Love my kids. Love them. You know my kids. My kids are...
Yeah, they dope.
They're something.
They dope.
It's a humbling experience.
The 12-year-old is really cool. Like, me and the 5-year-old are getting there. Like, me and her are almost homies. Like,
you know, she does ask. She is mad now because we have changed recording times and because she is in school.
I know
that she doesn't get to come over, especially and hang out with Liam. That's her little buddy. All right, and the final chapter of my life brings us to present day, and it is titled "I Still Don't Know What the Fuck I'm Doing." Because I mean, here I am pushing 40, and it's like like I still like to do childish things. Like I still have the mentality of an early 20-year-old. But I have the body of like a 45-year-old soccer mom who like just let herself go. You know?
Fucking stupid.
But here, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like the inner and the outer, it doesn't match. Because I'd be a sexy motherfucker on the outside if it matched the inside. I mean, I'd probably have the big clown nose. I mean, like,
right, yeah,
big old honker. But I don't know. I feel like my hands and feet would be bigger if the insides matched the outsides. Like I got these little ass hands, man, and it really cuts me deep, bro.
Your hands aren't that small, are they?
Dude, I'm like 7 inches taller than you.
You're not 7 inches taller than me.
Dude, you're a fucking midget.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah, I guess you got a few inches on a midget. All right, that's my top 5. So that's what I got for y'all. See, y'all's was much deeper than mine.
I'm sorry, Ty. You picked this top 5 and honestly thought like, oh, Shorty's gonna take this in a lighthearted way. Did you think about that at all?
I did. I thought, you know what? He's gonna make the best of this.
And here we go, right down into it.
Alyssa, your top 5 and Shorty's top 5, like I felt like they were kindred spirits.
They could probably be in the same book.
In the same genre. They'll be like sitting next to each other on the
Word.
show.
Yeah, you guys like.
If it's done by alphabet, you're going to be definitely first pick, and I'm going to be all the way toward the middle.
I feel like if we were in the library, you guys are both definitely on the same shelf. Self-help is where I would put it.
There is actually a lot of self-help books are autobiographies and stuff like that. People talking about their struggle and how they cope with it and certain things like that. There is a lot of psychology books in there too, but a lot of them are just people overcoming them and saying like, hey, these helped me and stuff like that. And obviously you can't say like, oh, hey, this will definitely help you because everybody's journey is different. You know, my sadness will not be the same as, you know, Alyssa's sadness. And so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So, Alyssa, if we can't get you this Netflix series, how does your family feel about their craziness? Are they all self-aware?
Well,
Well, about that.
2 have died.
From like unrelated incidences or like
so my mom's one of 5. Okay. So like each one could have their own little documentary and series.
We'll give them an episode.
Oh no, trust me, we need more than an episode. It'll have to be like those 2-hour premieres. But
Jesus.
2 have died, and then one of them is a finesser who just finesses people. The other one is a crackhead living on the streets, and then there's just my little old mom just surviving.
So
now, is your mom the good kid out of the 5?
Yeah, so like she grew up with like the shittiest childhood. Like she was the kid who was disowned. She was the one who didn't. She's literally the middle child. She's the 3rd child of 5.
Damn.
So, and she is treated there as such.
So nobody even knew she was around. They're like,
she didn't get disowned. She got forgot.
Yeah, she was
Oh
background
no, she
noise.
got disowned. Like there's paperwork. Like,
What?
There's paperwork that comes with disownment.
How do you do that?
whenever you don't want your kid no more, you just go to a lawyer and you disown your kid. You give up your custody.
Okay. Putting them up for adoption. That's what Tyler.
No, you ain't even got to
giving away your parental rights. Like
Yeah.
you're saying, you're just signing over your rights. You're no longer a parent.
Yeah, you ain't even got to have a backup plan. Like they don't have new parents. That's all right. System will take them.
I mean, like my mom stayed with like her biological mom, but her dad was like, I'm not her dad no more.
Man, that's horrible.
But like considering, and that's the thing, like my mom grew up so crappy that she didn't want me to grow up crappy, you know? So like given her childhood trauma, she really tried the best to like lead me. And luckily I'm a smart person and like I have persevered. Mm-hmm. And since I've gotten into comedy, my mom has started reaching out to like different members of her family. And she's like, I'm just letting you know, like Alyssa's going to be making jokes about us.
She gonna say some shit.
Oh, look, I haven't even mentioned my grandma yet. Like she is a whole 5-part series in herself. Okay. Like,
all right. So if we can't get the Netflix series, can we get a book? I really want to read this book about your family.
we can.
Or, like she's already asked for a little bit of help and I'm going to go ahead and do it. Like, cause I'm a nice guy, but like maybe she could do a podcast on it.
She is planning on
Look at that.
starting one.
We got all kinds of content for you. Well, you got all kinds of content.
Well, and that's like with the self-help, that's kind of what, and I went into teaching for, is to show people like, it doesn't matter what your background is. You can literally come from nothing and like be shown and have no role models, and you can become somebody.
Right.
And all while suffering depression, trying to commit suicide, battling, losing your identity, and I've overcome a lot, and I fight the demons every day. And it's like, I want to help people, but not in a realistic way, because depression sucks. And we don't all look at it as rainbows and butterflies. And I could do two things. I could cry about my shitty family, or I can make people laugh about it. So
right.
Might as well laugh, because I'm not that person. I don't live that life.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Because laughter is the best medicine.
That's right.
All right. And with that, we're going to wrap it up today. Alyssa, you have one job to do at this point. I'm going to say that's all we got for today. And you're going to say, so in the meantime, do you understand the assignment? All right, let's kick it off then. So that's all we got for today.
So in the meantime.
In the betweens time.
Remember, laughter is the best medicine. So shut up, drink your water, and swallow this pill, bitch. Cue the music. We out.